and this is Weaponized.
When OSAP is born, the first case they start looking at is Tic Tac. And the person they came to rely on to write the first report, an investigative report on Tic Tac, was Jay Stratton. I released that report in 2018. It had no insignia on it. It wasn't signed. It doesn't say who wrote it. But we can say now he's the guy who wrote it. And it was great work. He talked to all these aviators and different people who are involved in it. It is one report that then became a much bigger report that has not been made public, but eventually will be someday. So that's one bit of work that he did. A second thing that the public would know about is the DIRDs. There are 38 of these DIRDs. Defense Intelligence Reference Documents that's the acronym, what it means. And 38 of those reports were prepared for the OSAP program. And as Jay explained to us when we met with him, it was meant to be a baseline. To establish what our baseline is for science and technology in specific kinds of categories, and to project what it might be 50 years from now. And I remember when I made some of those, when you and I released some of those reports, people were griping and moaning, "Oh, this is sci-fi, it's nonsense, it's garbage science." Well, it's not. That's not how it was received by the defense industry. They loved those reports because it was really good work, and they needed a baseline from which they could compare when they had UFO cases to analyze. Is this ours? Could it be ours? Could we duplicate that 50 years from now? And many times the answer was no.
Right, and Jay actually talked about this in this interview that we did. It's like he was saying, look, we were trying to find the disruptive technologies in 50 years from now, the things that we were seeing, the things that were going on, we didn't have good explanations for, so we have to theorize and get out there, like, what could it be? How could it be happening? It's so interesting to me the way he also said he was so dismissive in a calm, cool, collected way, because he really empathizes with people that have less information than him. And I get that. So certain things that are classified within our Department of Defense, he can't just like go out on Twitter and say, even if he gets on Twitter, you know what I mean? Right. But he was very clear that if something was identifiable, if something was ours, if something was a traditional object or a known foreign nation, or even a question that could be a foreign nation that known, despite the capabilities, that those would not be included in his reporting, in his analysis. And he really specifically said, I get it that people think it's just one piece of evidence, like just a video, but you and I are hyper personally aware that there's other corroborative evidence that is not for public consumption. Jay says it himself, though. We had more information. And so when you say, oh, it's, birds, balloons, optical illusions, reflections, pilot error, he's like, bullshit, it's not. We would never have included it. And it's nice to hear him say that, because it carries a lot more weight than just, it actually supports the pilots and people that know because they were there.
Exactly. I mean, the armchair experts, the debunkers on social media, just throw anything out, throw it out and see what sticks against the wall. It's birds, it's flares, it's exhaust from a jet. It's ridiculous is what it is. Yeah. For that explanation to work, any of those, you have to assume the U.S. military are idiots, that the pilots are idiots, that the people manning the sensors are idiots, that the analysis done by intelligence officials afterward, that they're all idiots, that they don't recognize a bird from an unknown object traveling at a high rate of speed. So Jay did share with us that there is so much information that cannot be shared with the public for national security reasons that went into their analyses of these key cases: Gimbal, Tic Tac, Go Fast, and a lot of others that you and I got into.